Good morning, everybody. Richard Boyd. I'm CEO and co-founder of Invizius. And Invizius is a clinical stage biotech based in Scotland in the UK. We spun out from world-leading research at the University of Edinburgh in 2018. And we are developing second-generation complement therapies. So for the sort of pure medtech people in the room, what's complement? The complement system is a branch of the innate immune system. So it's there primarily to attack pathogenic microbes and clear cellular debris from the body. When the complement system stops working properly, it causes several autoimmune and inflammatory diseases. So complement therapeutics are seeking to treat those therapies by rebalancing or preventing excessive activation of the complement system. So we're developing a second generation therapy into this market. So from an investor exit perspective, this is a pretty interesting space. And I've got here on this slide some recent M&A and IPO activity in the complement therapeutic space. There are a couple of investors attending LSI who have invested in a couple of these companies. So Apellis, for example, and Gemini Therapeutics, both NASDAQ listed in recent times, $750 million market cap. I think Apellis is now worth about $3 billion. Gyroscope Therapeutics, a UK-based VC-backed company bought by Novartis for up to $1.5 billion in 2021. So it's a vibrant space. There's a lot more opportunity in this space because it is an emerging space. And our ambition is to scale Invizius to the sort of $1 billion level with our second generation complement therapeutic technology. So complement system dysregulation, so issues with the complement system working incorrectly is an emergent driver of many inflammatory and autoimmune diseases, and some of these diseases are shown on this slide. Currently, there are only 3 FDA-approved therapeutics, and those are mainly targeted at eye diseases and renal diseases. So this is a $50 billion therapeutic market opportunity. And we are, with our first indication, attacking some white space in the form of a treatment for patients on hemodialysis and other extra-corporeal therapies. And with our second product, we're looking to treat peritoneal fibrosis. Our proprietary PSPCN platform is designed to be safer and more effective than the first generation complement therapeutics. So if I can keep it very simple, the first generation therapeutics are inhibitors, whereas our second generation technology is a regulator. So inhibitors stop the complement cascade, stop that immune process from proceeding. And the problem with that is you don't just stop the bad things from happening, you stop the good things from happening as well. So what we're able to do is get balance back to the complement system without actually compromising the beneficial functions of the complement system. So, and we have some very nice ex vivo data showing how our system works and works very well. Our first indication is in hemodialysis. Now, this is a slightly interesting. It's not a pure therapeutic in as much as we are not injecting a patient with a drug. We're treating a machine. And in the first indication, that machine is a hemodialysis machine. But what's the problem then? What's the problem that we're addressing in hemodialysis? And indeed, other extracorporeal circuit therapies shown on the slide there. Well, in these therapies, the entire patient's blood supply is being pumped from the patient and then through a filter or an oxygenator, which is basically a very large foreign body as far as the complement system or the innate immune system is concerned. So upon exposure of the blood to those surfaces, you get this complement activation. And in some patients, you get a really excessive complement activation. And that excessive complement activation leads to inflammation and coagulation and a host of serious complications for the patient. And in the case of hemodialysis, life expectancy is just 1/3 of normal for patients on hemodialysis, and 50% of patients die from cardiovascular disease. And that cardiovascular disease is accelerated by the procedure itself, by the dialysis procedure itself, because of this excessive complement activation during the procedure. So that's the problem. And our solution, and this is our first product, is called HGuard Priming Solution. And this comes in a vial, so it looks very much like a drug. Instead of injecting it into a patient, what we're doing is we're injecting it into the priming solution, which is used to prime the extracorporeal circuit before the patient is hooked up. So we're basically piggybacking on existing components, existing procedures, and we end up with a coating of our HGuard molecule on all of the blood contact surfaces in the extracorporeal circuit, such that as the blood flows through, that circuit is now hidden from the patient's immune system. You don't have the same complement activation and therefore inflammation and coagulation and the attendant complications that ensue. So this is a $2 billion revenue opportunity in dialysis, in hemodialysis, and then further sort of significant opportunities in other extracorporeal circuit areas. So this is our first product. We already have a very strong existing syndicate of investors, 3 venture capital companies in the UK, an ultra-high net worth, an individual called Jonathan Milner, who is very well known in the UK and a prolific life science investor. So he's one of our investors. And then we also have a corporate VC in the form of Solvay Ventures. Solvay is a global materials company. They manufacture, amongst many other things, polysulfone. And polysulfone is the polymer used to manufacture hemodialysis filters. So it's their material which causes the foreign body response, which causes the serious patient complications. So they're interested in how HGuard can resolve that. So that existing syndicate of investors is allowing us to fund the further clinical development of our HGuard product. We're doing a first-in-man study at the moment, and we'll be raising money following that, so with clinical data, to, at the very minimum, pursue that product into further clinical trials. But what we'd like to do is attract other investors who are not only interested in that product, but interested in the opportunities for other complement therapeutics to accelerate the value and development of the business. So everyone says they've got a great team. I'm not going to say that I would say exactly the same, but what I would say about this team is that we've been together for 5 years. We've worked consistently for 5 years. We have shown resilience in the face of the usual bumps on the road that companies like ours experience. And I think we've also shown ourselves to be very collaborative. We work closely with our partners, with our suppliers, and with our investors. Our chairman, Eric Beard, was the worldwide leader of Baxter's renal business. And our sort of lead clinical advisor is Professor Sandeep Mitra in Manchester, and Sandeep is a genuine KOL in this space. So in summary, it's a clinical stage biotech. We have a supportive syndicate already of investors, and we'd welcome further investment. It's developing second-generation complement therapies. We'd like to reach $1 billion level valuation with further investment, with an expanded pipeline. We're addressing a huge unmet need in dialysis with our first product, and we're seeking additional investors for around at the beginning of 2024. So if you're at all interested, please come and talk to me. Many thanks.